celebrating our winning trades. Hi, it's Charlie giving you Saturday's video and hope you're very well. Um, do you find yourself celebrating or getting excited about winning trades? Very easy to do, but the reality is we shouldn't do it. I was listening to a podcast yesterday and they were talking about Johnny Wilkinson, the English rugby player who, when England won the World Cup in 2003, and he did that drop goal to win the game in the last minute or two. He said, as far as emotions were concerned, he had the same emotions as when he was doing the washing up. And I mean, I don't know how true that is. Well, that's what he said anyway. So, and you think, well, because he said the same thing. You know, if I get elated about the good stuff, how am I going to feel when things are not going so well? And it's exactly the same with trading. How are you going to? What's the point in getting excited about winning trades? Because that, by definition, would mean that you'd be a bit despondent and down on losing trades. Why do you want to have an emotional roller coaster where you're having peaks and troughs in emotions regularly? Because it's not healthy to be feeling depressed and down and frustrated. What we want to have is, as much as possible, a nice, steady, much more desensitized emotional plane. We can't be completely emotionless, of course, but we want to be desensitized. So one way to help desensitize things is to constantly be working on that, on our thought processes, so that we don't allow ourselves to get excited about winning trades. And if we stop allowing ourselves to get excited about winning trades and we just constantly say, well, yeah, it's a great trade, but we've now got to move on to the next, and then if we're not allowing ourselves to get excited about those, then we're less likely to get depressed about the losers. And so then when we have our losing trades, we can be quite pragmatic about those as well. Anyway, that's just some food for thought there. Let's have a little look at the markets here. I've got the euro up here. We had those CPI figures out yesterday. They came in as expected. And I think Joe Biden's been weighing in a little bit on these inflation figures just in the last few days. Really, he's obviously a bit worried about it and trying to talk it down a bit. And no doubt the inflation figures are going to come down in the coming months. They're still going to be high, but coming down from their high of 6.8 yesterday. So looks like energy prices are going to come down some. So we're going to see lower inflation figures, still high inflation, but not carrying on at 6.8 or 7%. So it'll be interesting to see how we go. We've got the Fed meeting next week. We've also got ECB next week. We've got Bank of England next week. So we've got a lot of central bank action next week. Now the euro, looking at it here on the daily chart, it's been consolidating down here for a while. If I actually put us over to a weekly chart, you can see my channel here. I've got this declining channel, and you can see that we've had some indecision type candles down here. And so, yes, of course, we could be in the early throes of a retracement within this channel. So I do think you should watch out for that. Overall, obviously, the trend is down, but we could well see a retracement within this channel. Now, the Fed are expected to be announcing an increase in their tapering, and I think even if they do that, the potential is that what if they don't? Then we would certainly see a weakening of the dollar, and therefore euro dollar going higher. But if they do, even if they do, the market's expecting that now. So, as very often is the case, it's a case of sell the fact, buy the rumor sort of thing. So, buy the rumor, sell the fact. So we could find that the dollar gets sold off on the Fed anyway. So do watch out here, because if I come across some of the other currencies against the dollar as well, we saw the pound having a good strong run yesterday. And all right, it's still very much down near its lows, but we can see the Aussies had a great run over the last week, and even the Kiwi has sort of held up a bit here as well. So, I think the main thing to look at is the monthly charts. On most of these currencies, like the New Zealand dollar, is sitting on its monthly 50 here, same as the pound dollar. sitting on its monthly 50. Aussie dollar just a little bit below its monthly 50. So they're all around these key moving averages as well. So do watch out if we're going to see some strength, but it's a gamble going into FOMC as to which way it is going to go, because certainly looking at those daily charts, it doesn't matter which one I look at really, they're all coming back to the euro, they're all obviously very much entrenched in downwards trends. But at some point, bearing in mind this euro's been coming down for the last 6 months, at some point you will see a larger retracement. So what's the deal here? Well, certainly I think if you do see strength or after post FOMC then and ECB, then there'll still be plenty of scope for a run at least to this channel line here on the daily chart. So you can see where I've drawn the trend channel line here. So that makes it easy. So you don't have to be trying to get in early or anything like that. You could wait until post Federal Reserve, or even wait until after the ECB, which is on Thursday, the following day. So and then say, okay, well, there might be some opportunities on the long side now towards that channel line. That's how I think that people should be looking at that. Likewise, though, it is still a consolidation down here, down at the lows, and the possibility is there that the dollar strengthens again post a hawkish Federal Reserve and a dovish ECB. So we could still see another run down as well, of course. So again, you could draw a trend line below these lows down here. So if I draw a trend line down here, I think that's probably something to watch out for if we get a close below that trend line as well. So there you go. There's a little bit of food for thought going into next week. The market, I wouldn't expect the market to particularly slow down until really the end of the around the 23rd. It's always possible that the markets slow down before that, but they don't a lot of the time. They don't. If you go back and scroll back over past years and you look at previous Christmases, you realize, okay, you get the odd small range day or so. That was on the Christmas Eve last year. But you look at over Christmas overall, yeah, no, it's moving around all right. And you can just go back and look at year after year, and so it's a bit of a myth that the markets aren't moving around at Christmas, because a lot of the time they still are. There'll be a couple of days, usually either side of Christmas can be quiet, but then it usually picks up. So anyway, there's some food for thought going into next week. Take care for now. I'll see you midweek.